There's an older lady. I'm getting an E, but I can't tell what her name is yet. It's definitely a mother or grandmother for somebody. But it's a strong E. There's like a whole line stepping in. Alright, I'm going to start naming a couple names in this long line. It's okay if you guys don't recognize all of them, because I'm being told some of them are older generation for somebody's bloodline. So I'm just going to start naming them, okay? My guide's saying some of these names will not be recognized, and it's just because somebody's older generation is stepping in before I go to read the next person. Does anybody recognize Martin? M-A-R-T-I-N. Very specific. Do you recognize that? Okay, good. And who's the grandfather energy for you? Who's the grandfather? No, there's a grandfather stepping in just beside him. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. Do you recognize Martin back through the family? Perfect. Remember how I said there's a whole line stepping in? Okay, so I know you're not going to recognize all these names, but I'm going to start to say them, okay? Because I just got Martin. And what about Catherine? It's very strong, Catherine. Okay. Do you know some of your genealogy, but not all of it? Do you know some of the genealogy, but not all of it? Perfect. Good. That's why they were saying to me not all is recognized. Do you recognize the female E name? I haven't gotten her name yet. Do you recognize it? Who recognizes that? Who is that a mother or grandmother for? Okay, good. Okay, good. Because there's like a whole line here, and I keep getting E, and I just haven't gotten her name yet. And whose mom is that? Your mom? Perfect, good. That's why I kept feeling the pull down to you guys, because there's like a whole line here. Is this mostly family? Your group is mostly family? Where? Okay. So I'm going to sit right here because I'm going to try not to let the speaker go off. But Martin is right here. There's the mother energy that starts with the E. I just haven't gotten her name. And then I'm feeling Catherine just behind. Just means it's an older generation. You guys may have not traced it yet, and that's okay. But yeah, there's a whole long line here. This is going to be interesting. Very large family, not only here but in spirit. Do you understand? Okay, good. Were you hoping for mom today? Okay, good. Have you ever heard from her before? You did? Okay, wonderful. Good. So we'll just see where she goes with this. All right, I'm going to list a few more names. Does anybody recognize Thomas? Who recognizes Thomas down there?
Right here, me.
Do you recognize Thomas? Okay, perfect. Right, were you sitting down there? Okay, because I keep getting Thomas. It just means that there's bloodlines coming in over here, and I might be coming to you next. Because there's a line of 39 people here, they just said. 21 of them are yours. The other part is split between two families, and I'm getting the name Thomas already. Okay? But there's the mother with the E. So I'm feeling her, and I feel like I'm going to start with her, and then I'm going to go to Thomas as well. So it's just their way of saying, your bloodline's lining up here. Other people are starting to step in here. There's 39, 21 over here, 18 over here, and part of that bloodline that I'm picking up Thomas, where what could be belongs to her or somebody else. Is this somebody you're hoping for? Thomas? Okay, good. So I'll just leave it. Because right now there's 21 people here, there's 18 on the other side, and I keep getting, she's hoping for me, and I'm getting the name Thomas. Do you understand it? Perfect, so I'm just going to leave that. It might be why they parked me right here before you got up and walked away. Do you understand it? It's got to be, so I'm just going to leave it. Are you guys together? I feel like I want to touch you. So, whether it's family, friends, whatever. Do you understand it? Perfect, good. So I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to start going through some of the names that are here. Who recognizes Eleanor? It's very specific, Eleanor. And what about Elizabeth? Okay, that's that strong E I was feeling. You don't know all your genealogy? Do you know some of it? Okay. Who doesn't know all? Is it you guys that don't know all of it? Okay, perfect. So that's probably why. As I'm being told Eleanor's on one side, Elizabeth's on the other, meaning they're trying to separate the lines out. Thomas is starting to step in right here. I'm getting Martin right here. There's the E woman that I haven't even touched over here yet. That's a mother energy that I haven't gotten her name yet. And then I'm getting Elizabeth. I'm getting Eleanor. And who recognizes Frank? Over here? Perfect. Okay. So again, he's probably residual from you guys stepping in this line back here. So I feel like I'm going to start with Thomas first, and then I'm going to come over here for the mother energy of the E. What's happening is all 39 of these people are going to try to start giving me their names. But half the group ends up being with them, but I know they're not going to recognize everybody. Alright, they're all stepping in. I'm going to take my time with their names, but there's a really strong gentleman putting pressure right here. And he keeps saying to me, I died of a heart attack and it was like that and I didn't expect it. It's to them. Do you guys recognize it? Perfect, good. So he's stepping in right here. Oh my God, saying it goes to you guys. He's putting pressure right here. He's saying to me it was sudden, it was unexpected, it was a heart attack. It caught him off guard and no one expected him to pass when he did, and he didn't expect it either. Do you understand that? Okay, and who's that for you? Father energy, because they kept saying FAT, good father, good. So I'm going to leave him for just a moment. Yeah. This is the gentleman that was married to the lady with the E name. Okay, as he said, I'm with the lady that you got the E from earlier. All right, good. Okay, so he's making me feel how the passing happened because he's putting a lot of pain right here, like really, really, really strong pain and pressure. And I get like it's blunt force like this, it's a heart attack, and he's gone like that. Do you understand? Father energy to you because they kept saying FAT. Good, father energy. And then there's the mom. Name starts with E, I'll get that in a minute. But mother energy. And they're walking in together and they're tied together. Okay? So that's how I know that they're connected. Okay? Wonderful. And who recognizes Dorothy? Okay. Do you recognize Dorothy? Perfect. Because she's stepping in just behind you guys. And I keep getting Dorothy. Who called her Dot? Okay. I'm going to leave it. Did anybody call her Dot? Okay. When they say that to me, it could just mean they always give me the proper, and then they'll make me feel people called them other things. So it could be something she was called in childhood, or it could be something that her friends called her that you didn't know. Do you understand? Okay. But I'm being told it's with this table here, so that means it's your mom. Okay, perfect, good. And she's saying Dorothy, and then I feel like I want to shorten her name. And she's saying yes, some people call her Dot. That's why she's making me feel it. Is this your first time connecting with her? She said, my daughter's so happy you just said my name because this is the first time she has a chance to talk to me since I passed. Do you understand it? Good. All right, so what's going to happen is Thomas is here. I'm feeling, this is what it's like. It's like being a kindergarten teacher, and you have like 25 little kids raising their hands and all talking at the same time. That's kind of what I'm going through right now, because everyone's trying to talk at once. So I'm telling them, okay, let's take our time and go one at a time. But I have Dorothy here. I have the really strong father energy that passed through the heart attack over here with the mother energy with the E name, which I'll get in a little bit. And then I already have Thomas over here. Okay. And then, of course, I'm getting Frank. And I'm being pulled that direction as well. But I'm getting Dorothy, so I think we're going to start back and forth with her and the father and mother energy that are connected. She's taking my breath away a little bit. Right, as she steps in, I'm starting to feel complications with the lungs from someone just behind her. Do you understand it? So I'm going to leave it, okay? Because somebody's cutting my breath off. And that could be pneumonia set in, it could be lung cancer. Do you understand it? Do you recognize it? So I'm just going to leave it, okay? Who is that for you? Okay, do you understand? But there's somebody else who had complications with the lungs as well, so I'm feeling it twice as strong, meaning it's just somebody in the older generation. So that can be great-grandparent, great-great-grandparent, somebody that you didn't have the connection with. But do you understand why she's taking my breath away? Perfect, okay. Because I know there's complications with the lungs, whether it's pneumonia or lung cancer, because there's someone just behind her that I'm feeling cancer from as well. So I'm going to leave it until they separate themselves out, and it's just the older generation that's stepping in behind her, but I get the picture of the lungs, and I know there's breathing complications in the end. Do you understand it? Perfect. Because she's cutting my breath off. Yeah, she's taking all my breath away. Every time I go to attach to her, I feel like it's all set in right here. And I can see the pair of lungs, and it's hard for me to kind of get my words out because her breath takes, like, my breath is just completely taken from me. You guys connected to her as well? Okay, because she keeps saying to me, it's about her, but look at her too. Do you understand it? Doesn't matter. Are you good support for her? Do you guys spend time together? Are you very close? Perfect, that's what it is. Meaning, did you support her through all this and vice versa? Okay, I'm just asking. Because support can mean if a person passed and you supported them through the passing, or it could just mean she's trying to validate the connection between the two of you, okay? And how important you are in her life. Because as you're shaking your head, she's going, look at her shaking her head. It's about her too. Meaning there could be someone behind her that she's trying to pull in for you because of your support and love for her. Do you understand? Wonderful. So I'm just going to wait until she validates. But she's saying, Dorothy, I can feel the lungs, and she's cutting my breath off. So I'm asking her to go ahead and step forward, and then I'll get to whoever's just behind. Alright, I need to stop for a minute. Shh, all you people down there talking. I'm picking on that table. And they're not even listening to me. Before I start with her mom, Dorothy, who's making me feel the lungs and cutting my breath off, there is somebody young standing just behind me, and I keep feeling the gray water go above me, and that's how I know it's a drowning. Huh? Do you understand it? I'm going to leave it for a minute, okay? Remember how I said there's a long line here, and I was already picking up Frank, and I was saying there was two families, and I would get to who the other family was that I was feeling, and I'm feeling the water above my head. Do you understand? So I will come back to you. She's like getting my attention. I'm feeling that really strongly because I had to do this because I can feel the gray water going above my head, and again that takes my breath away. So it's probably why I'm feeling it doubly as strong, not only because of the lung condition from Dorothy and the person that's just behind, but also because she was already trying to get my attention because of the drowning, which is the breath in the lungs as well. So that's why I had to like sit and just say, please separate yourselves out so I can feel how I'm going to. Okay, so she's stepping in first. She's very, there's a difference between being set in your ways and old school. She reminds me of old school. Do you understand it? Meaning it's just her way of her mannerisms, like around the house and stuff like that. It doesn't mean everyday stuff as far as personality or attitude. It's what she's making me feel as far as daily activity. So I'm going to leave that because sometimes it's them trying to validate if they had any kind of, in older generations, it'll be their way of making me feel if there was any kind of career or not career, if they were a stay-at-home mom, how many children they had, so on and so forth. So I'm going to wait until she gives it to me. Do you understand? Perfect. So it's just her way of making me feel it. She had the complications with the chest for a while because she keeps saying to me, it bothered me for years. Do you understand it? And she's standing just behind you. You look a lot like her. Do you understand that? Like I'm starting to see her and it's like right here. In this area right here. Like she looks very similar to you. It's just the way she's showing herself to me, like right around the eyes. But as she starts to step in, she cuts my breathing off. She's saying to me complications like this for years, and I feel like there's complications with the lungs. Do you understand it? And it's just the breathing complications she's making me feel. So I'm asking her to politely step in by herself, even though I know there's supportive energy just behind her. I don't want her message to, I want it to be clear for you. Because this mother energy with the drowning is really strong and trying to pull me that way. As she steps in, there's older people step in. So I'm going to talk to her and then a couple of people here in this older generation for this family before I come to Thomas and then go back over there for the drowning. And as everyone starts to step in, and I'm asking her to step right in front of me so she's the only person I can talk to first. I don't know what this is, but somebody keeps making me feel like I'm taking dough and rolling it out and rolling it in long lines, and then I'm twisting it. Do you understand that? Do you make that recipe? Do you understand it? It's like, is it like a twisty cookie? What is it? She makes me feel like I'm twisting it. Do you understand it? It's just the way she's making me feel it. Do you understand what she's trying to show me though? Do you have her old recipes? Okay. Do you bake all the time? Okay, so that might be it. This can mean old recipes. It can mean a family recipe that they're trying to say, no, you're adding too much sugar, and then they'll pick on you, like that type of thing. It could be her trying to validate what you do as far as your enjoyment and what you do in your time. Or it could be them validating something that's been passed down and something that wasn't passed down, meaning half recipes or whatever. But do you understand why she's doing it? As long as you understand it. It's just the way she has to give it to me for the symbolism, because I'm feeling like I'm touching all this dough. You do that often? She's saying more than I ever would have. Do you understand it? Okay, perfect. Are you a baker? Is it by trade? Okay, I'm just asking, because she makes me feel like I'm in the kitchen constantly and I'm looking at all this dough. Do you understand it? But is it something that you're passionate about and you do all the time? That's it. Because she keeps saying to me, I stand there with her. That's why she was showing it to me. Do you understand it? Okay, that's why I had to ask you if you have the old recipes, because when they make me feel like they're present and then they're trying to show me this picture of doing this, it could mean the validation of the recipes passed down, or it could just be them validating what's happening in spirit. Do you understand it? Good. You still have some of her things as well? Yeah, because she's saying to me, there's not very much, but it's important to her. When they do that, it means it's less than 5. Do you understand it? Meaning you hardly have anything, but it's her way of trying to validate it for you. Do you not wear it as much as you should, or not at all? Because she's saying to me, she's not wearing it. That's why. Because it's in your purse. That's all she's saying to me is not wearing. So that means you're not wearing it, or you don't wear it as often as she'd like you to. Do you understand it? I think she was saying not wearing, not only because of the purse, but the validation as to how often. Do you understand it? Good. Were you hoping she would talk about that? And she said she hoped I would mention it. That's why I had to say she's not wearing it. Do you understand? Good. Wonderful. When they make me feel that, and there's only one specific thing you have, or there's 1 or 2 other small things, they'll make me feel like it's under 5, and then I'll feel like it's very minimal. Do you understand? So that's why she was doing this to me. So it's just her way of saying she wishes that you had more of her things. Do you understand? And what was with the separation with that? She makes me feel like I'm on an emotional roller coaster with her items as far as the passing down and their separation, and she wishes you would have gotten more than what you did. We're not going to get into that because I feel it's personal, and I feel like there's some hard feelings over that. Do you understand it? So I'm going to leave that subject alone, but you understand it. Perfect. So that's what she's making me feel. She's very this is what I'm going to talk to you about. On the other side, it's nothing but unconditional love, and there is no anger, and there is no judgment. I always say that. Of course, we have our judgment through Jesus and the passing into heaven, okay? Past that our loved ones see things on a different level. The material things are different on the other side, and we don't have the necessity or the importance. But if there's something they really loved and that you have, they always want to validate that. And then there's never any kind of anger or upset, but it's just her saying she wishes that you would have gotten more.